again, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adoornments Decor. I know it's been a really long time since I did a video, probably early December or late November, and I've had a lot of people messaging me asking when I was going to do another live video. And things have just been so busy, and I'm grateful. I mean, I've had paint parties 2 or 3 times a week, and in between that, I've had about probably 30 custom orders in the month of January, and that's probably more than I've had in a really long time. So I'm really thankful for you guys keeping me busy and challenging me to try new things, because you guys have seen that I've been posting videos of like dog door hangers, which is something I wasn't comfortable doing, but I started trying it, and it's kind of gotten me out of my comfort zone and taught me how to do some new things that I didn't know I could do before. And I also did some superhero door hangers, and now I'm trying out this new Barnwood technique that people really like. I'm trying to get the video brought up on my husband's iPad so I could see you guys in your comments, but it says they're having trouble playing the video. I don't know. It may not work. Okay, I'll try to just, well, hang on, maybe this is going to work. It says the flash is unavailable, whatever that means. Okay, well, that's not going to work. I'll just have to try to read your comments on the screen. Hello, Mother. She's down in Florida watching this. Okay, tonight we're going to be creating a faux barnwood or pallet sign door hanger. It's all one piece of wood, but we're going to make it look like 5 different planks that have been like nailed together. So this is just one piece of wood, and it's been cut to look like multiple planks. And the customer that ordered this one wanted it red, just like the example. So I'm going to paint it red, and the first color I'm using is flamenco red. Not flamingo, flamenco, like the Spanish dancers, flamenco. Hey, Pat. She's down in Florida too. All you guys, these snowbirds way down there. I think Pat's permanently down there now though. Okay, I'm just going to give this thing a good coat of red to start with, and then we'll start adding the barnwood look. What's really cool about this technique is you can do any color you want. You know, I've got another one I've got to do after this. I'm probably not going to do it on the video, but somebody wanted a navy colored barnwood, so I'll probably post a picture of it sometime the next day or two when I get around to painting it. But this one's going to be red, and this wood soaks it up, so you got to put a lot of paint on there. I just like to squirt it directly on the board because it saves time. And if you'll notice, I have no makeup on tonight. I didn't bother going to the trouble to put on makeup because it has been a rough day. I've been potty training my almost 2-year-old little girl all day. It is not for sissies, I'll tell you that. Cleaned up a lot of accidents. We've celebrated the tiny victories that we've had, but they've paled in comparison to the accidents. So if anyone has potty training tips, feel free to leave them in the comments. I could use all the help I can get. Especially for little girls, because I've trained little boys, but I have not trained little girls yet. I've heard it's easier, but so far, I'm not having a whole lot of luck. And she loves Elmo, so we've been watching the Elmo videos. Always make sure to paint the edges of your door hanger too. It kind of gives it more of a finished look. That way it looks more uniform. You don't have the raw edges sticking out. And it doesn't take that long to go around the edges. And especially with this technique, it really doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to really distress it here in a few minutes and make it look not so perfect. Let's see. Hi, Brenda. Hello, Michelle. I'm going to have to scoot the camera just a little closer. I cannot hardly read. Okay. Maybe you guys can see a little better, and I'll be able to see you. Let's see. It says, you're used to singing potty. Oh, the singing potty. We don't have one of those. We did have I did pull up like the Elmo videos on my phone where he sings little potty songs, and it lasts about 5 minutes, so I'm trying to keep her on the potty for at least a solid 5 minutes so that it's a good faith effort to try. And she sits still for the endurance of the Elmo video, but then sometimes she'll get up and potty in the floor next to the potty. Hello, Kathy and Melissa. Hello from Georgia and Fulton, Kentucky. I like it when you guys tell me where you're from. It's interesting to see where everybody's from. I'm in good old Murray, Kentucky, or close to it, kind of between Murray and Benton. Let me make sure I got the edges on this side. I think I did, yeah. Just need to get the edges on this one. Alright. And if you guys have a request for a type of door hanger that you would like to see me do a video on, feel free to, you know, shoot me that request or comment about it. Because part of the reason it's taken, well, besides being busy, part of the reason it's taken me so long to do another video is I was just trying to think what would be a good video to do one on. And somebody actually commented on the picture of this door hanger and said, oh, I would love to see a video on that technique. And so that kind of was like, oh, well, that's great. You know, because I hate to do just videos of me painting door hangers over and over and over again. And it kind of just be the same old, same old. I want to be able to teach you guys a technique or a different style of doing things each time that I do a video. I'd hate to just have you watch me painting every time, although you guys probably would enjoy that. I don't know. But I like for it to kind of be a teaching experience where you learn something new every time. Okay, Melissa says, have you done one of the camper before? I don't think I have, but I actually got a camper over here that I painted earlier today that I posted online. And I kind of did this one a little different. I did the little scalloped awnings instead of curtains. I thought that would be something different. I love the little pennants. It just kind of makes it look like a party. But that one's going to be donated to a silent auction that they're having at our local elementary school, North Elementary. They're having a winter carnival Friday night, and they're going to have like silent auction baskets. And my son's grade is doing camping theme, and so I thought they could either auction it off separate or put it in the basket. I don't really care either way what they do with it. And then I did a football one for the first grade because they've got a game night theme. Okay, this has got a pretty good solid coat of the flamenco red on there. I'm going to give it just a second to dry. And I just realized I didn't get myself any water to rinse brushes in. So I'm just going to set that in there because this isn't going to take very long. Okay, and while that's drying for a minute, I'm going to get another plate and put, let me get that out of the way, a little bit, let me see, I saw that, so could, the comment's disappearing, I can't read it. Oh, an obsessed vintage camper, that might be really cute. Okay, I'm going to do, I just almost got that all over the place, a little bit of white, and I'm doing it kind of in a line instead of like a little pile, because usually I do my paint in piles. But let me show you kind of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it this way. I'm doing like a little line of paint. The first color I used was just regular white. The second color was pewter gray. It's kind of just a charcoal gray. And this one is khaki. You don't have to get these specific colors, but you know, just like colors that you would kind of find in nature with barnwood or something distressed. And of course black. And the reason I'm doing them in a little line like this, hello Becky from Louisville, Kentucky, you're on the other end of the state, is because I've got this big old 4-inch brush. This is like the kind you find at the Dollar Tree that are really crappy for painting your walls with. Like, I don't know what I would ever use a brush like this for, because it wouldn't leave a nice smooth application. It's going to leave like a bristly, streaky application. But you don't have to go out to the Dollar Tree and buy one of these. I guarantee you, if you have old paint supplies from painting your house or your garage or whatever, go look and see if you have a cruddy paintbrush that's got paint all gunked up in the ends. See, I don't even really bother washing this out really well when I'm done with it. it's got all kinds of paint gunked and the bristles are all stuck together. But that's really perfect for this type of technique because it keeps the paint from just going on in a real smooth way. I'm kind of talking for a minute while this dries. So let me fan it just a second. But anyways, so we're going to do this in just a second and I will show you. I don't guess it really matters too much if the red is dry because I'm going to scuff it up and mess it up anyways. Hello, Nikki. Okay. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So let's start with, let's just start with the gray. I usually like to end with the black because it's the darkest. But I just kind of dabbed on there a little bit. I didn't get a whole lot on my brush, but just to check to be sure that I didn't get way too much, I always have a paper towel handy, and I do like that. And that kind of lets me know how much I've got on my brush, and that looks about right. So I'm just going to start and just streak from one end to the next, and I'm just going to get a little bit more and dab on the paper towel. I'll show you in a second how this looks up close. But I'm just kind of starting at one end and brushing, and just kind of the rougher you go with it, the better technique or application you're going to get. And I like to go off the edges because then it kind of creates that rough edge look on the end of the palette side. And in some places you may want it a little thicker than others. This is looking really cool already. I love the gray on the red. And as you do it, you can kind of get a feel for how much you've got on your brush. You wouldn't have to keep dabbing on the paper towel. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm probably going to stop right there for a second and show you. See if you guys can see that. It just kind of gave it a little bit of a rough look. Hello, Sandra. Thanks for jumping on here. If you guys will share this this video, I'm going to be doing a giveaway as soon as I hit 3,000 likes. I think I'm at 2,933 as of before this video. So as soon as I hit 3,000, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So feel free to share the video and like the page. Okay, next I'm going to do the tan. Oh, hang on. Something popped up on my phone screen. Okay, got a little bit of the tan on the brush. I'm going to do the same thing. And this one shows up even better because it's a lot lighter. But the lighter color kind of gives it some dimension. I may not even do the white. I've already squeezed it out on here, but I may not use it as a distressing color because this tan is working so well to lighten up the colors. I don't want it to be too much light color. There's not really a wrong amount to do on here. It's just however much you like. You know, if you like a lot of a heavy distress, you can do just a bunch. If you don't want a whole lot, you can just do, you know, a couple of passes on it. I'm going to do this somewhat medium to heavy, I would say. And just keep it all, I didn't mention this, but keep it all going in the same direction, obviously. That way it keeps the wood looking like it's all the same direction. Can you guys see that okay? Hello, Wendy. Okay, that's the tan. And then finally we're going to do the black. And as you notice, I'm not washing my brush out in between colors. I'm just going to the next color. So I'm going to dab in the black, dab on my paper towel, make sure I don't have just a ton, especially with the black. When you're doing this, you want to dab on the paper towel almost each time because the black will go on a lot heavier than all the other colors. It just kind of keeps control of how much you've got on there. And I'm doing a black letter, so I really don't want a ton of black. And of course, one thing you could do is if you got too much on here of one color, you could go back with the original color, like the red, and just go over it to make sure that you cover. Because I got a little bit of the black kind of heavy in this one spot. But I think that's going to kind of give it a little bit of an authentic look. Because you don't want it to look real uniform all the way through. You want it to kind of be variated. That way it looks more natural or realistic. But after I did that, a lot of the tan disappeared. So I'm probably going to dry it really quick because I don't want the tan to blend in. And then I'm going to go over it with the tan again. So hang on. This red was still a little bit wet, so that caused it to blend in a little bit more than I wanted it to. I may go back over it with the gray again too. You just got to keep layering it until it looks like you want it to look. And sometimes just drying in between can kind of give you an idea. But there is what it looks like so far. And as you can see, a lot of the tan disappeared. And I think it was because I had streaked it while the colors were still wet. So we're going to go back with the tan again and just do some fresh streaks on top. Squirt some more tan on there, or khaki, I guess technically it's colored. Color is called khaki. Let's see who else has joined. I see Alyssa and Amber and Kathy. Oh no, your screen is froze. I hope, is anybody else's froze? I hope not. Well, either way, you should be able to access the video after we get offline. You might even try closing your Facebook and reopening it to see if that helps. Okay, I added some more tan. And then I'm probably going to do just a little bit more gray too. You just got to keep layering it until you like the way it looks. And I kind of want the black in the background and then the tan and gray on top. So if I thought about that to begin with, I probably should have started with the black. Which the colors all show through anyways, but I want the tan and the gray to be more noticeable than they were. So I'm just going to keep layering those till I like it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I hope you guys can see it well at home. Okay, now the next step is to take a really skinny brush. And I've had a lot of people ask me what kind of brushes I use. These are just super cheap brushes, probably from Hong Kong or China, that I ordered on eBay. I think it was like 6 brushes for $1.30. They don't have to be fancy brushes. I just like the ones that are, what's this called? Nylon, maybe? I don't know, but it's real flexible, but it's also kind of firm, so you've got lots of control. And this one's probably about 3/4 of an inch long. It's just real pointy. And the reason I like the longer ones with the thicker bristles is because they hold the paint better. Like this one right here, let me find one to show you. It's a little shorter compared, and it's not going to hold near as much paint as this one is. So for something like this, where I'm not going to have to get a perfect line, I'm going to use the fatter brush because it's going to hold more paint. Hey Kay, love you too. Okay. And I'm going to use the same exact colors I get here, but I'm about to run out of the gray, so I'm going to get a little bit more of it. I haven't even used the white yet. But I'm going to start with probably the black. And I'm just going to do, can you guys see okay? I'm just going to do lines going, and they don't have to be perfect. I'm just going to kind of drag my brush in a rough line from point A to point B, down here at this corner to down here at this corner, because that's all supposed to be one fake plank. And I'm not doing it real perfect because I'm going to come back with the other colors and kind of layer. Okay, do more of the black and go end to end. And if they're a little thicker at one spot and a little thinner at one spot, that's fine. If they're not perfectly straight, that's fine, because with the multiple colors that you're going to be doing, it's not going to be obvious. And it's going to kind of just make it look a little bit like a warped board, because see, I did that one real wavy right through there. But once we get all the colors on here, it's not going to matter so much. And then I'll take a little bit of each color and kind of just do like little swipes at the edges, just to kind of emphasize the different edges of the board. I'm going to go down through here with the black on the edge. I hope you guys can see all this okay. It's kind of weird painting at this angle. It's probably why my line got a little bit wavy, but like I said, it doesn't matter too much because I'm going to do a lot of paint layering. Okay, let me flip the board around. But you guys can see how I'm kind of doing the lines. Hi, Ellie. Okay, and then just I'm just going to go through here and just kind of do some little swipes at the edges. You guys can see that okay. I'm going to try to get it up nice and close. You can see my real crooked line there. Okay, that doesn't really matter. If it bothers me at the end, I can take a little bit of red and kind of go over it again. Doesn't matter. Alright, next I'm going to do the gray. You could do the khaki next. I don't know why I'm doing the gray next. I just felt like I wanted to. And then I'm going to try to make this gray stripe just a tad bit straighter. And I may have to go back over that and fix that red one. Doing it upside down is not the best way to do it because I was kind of looking at the camera and not paying attention to what I was doing. And I'm just making these lines again, but I'm trying not to go exactly on top of the black, just kind of crisscrossing over it and beside it. And then I do these little edges again. And they aren't real perfect either. It's just to kind of get some more color up there. And then go along the edge. Okay, so I've got the gray and the black. Now the khaki. And go along the edge. And go along the outer edge. And I'm just going to make some little marks up here. Kid's trying to sneak up behind me and get in the video. Okay. This one right here is looking like a hot mess, so I'm probably going to fix it and straighten it up a little bit. I'm stuttering. If it helps you, you could even get a yardstick and kind of draw pencil lines. I probably should have done that in hindsight, but with all the distressing, it might make it kind of hard to see that line. So I'm just going to get some more black and go over and kind of make it more straight. Plus, when I get a letter on here, it's going to distract from any imperfections. Okay, that's looking like a mess. Don't you just love Facebook Live? You're not allowed to make mistakes. Oh, I forgot I didn't have any water. Hang on. I'm rinsing my brushes with no water. I'm coming back, I promise. I wondered why when I swirled my brush around in there it wasn't getting clean. It's because it was empty. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more of this red, and I'm probably going to use a different brush so that I cover more ground. And I'm just going to correct a little bit of this black line that I went crazy with and got way over. Because I want it to look somewhat straight, but not perfect. And so if I just kind of go over it with a little bit of red, it's just going to look like more of that distressing instead of a goof up. That's looking better. That's the good thing about this flamenco red. It's just dark enough that it will, I'm going to get a little bit of this tan and just kind of streak through it. It's just dark enough that it will cover other colors, whereas regular red probably would not have covered that black at all. But I straightened that up a little bit, as you can see. And I might even dry this real quick and then distress it again so that it looks more like the rest of it. So hang in there. I'm going to dry this real quick. Gotta love the hairdryer. Okay, I'm gonna get just a tad bit of tan and a little bit of gray and just, oh yeah, see, you can't even tell. You could even do this just as an extra layer of distressing after you've got your lines done to kind of blend them a little better. because it kind of puts a little bit of that distressing on top of the lines. Matter of fact, I would probably recommend that. This is only like the second or third time I've actually done this particular one. Okay. And see how it's kind of heavy down here? I don't really mind it just because I want it to look kind of variated. I don't want it to look perfect. If it does bother you, you can take a little bit of red and just distress right back on top of that. But I'm just going to leave it. Okay, I think the last thing to do now is to put the letter on here. And this customer had the letter S. Whenever I'm doing letters, I like to get a nice little mountain or pile of paint. And then just grab a nice, since I'm doing a big letter, I'm going to grab a big fat wide brush. It's probably about 1 inch wide, maybe a little under. But it's nice and flexible, yet still firm enough that I've got lots of control. Hello, Martha. Says, I'm just joining you. Will we be able to watch from the beginning? If you wait till the end, it will post the whole video and you'll be able to watch it from beginning to end. So yes. Alright, so I'm just going to do a big S on here. And I like to just do the basic shape first and then go back and kind of thicken it up or, you know, give it some flair. And so I'm just going to kind of, I wonder if I could do this where you guys could see it better. It's backwards, isn't it? That's not really better, is it? Okay, maybe this is just going to have to do. I wish they would fix that. I know it's like the selfie camera you use with Facebook Live, but that's kind of annoying that all the letters and everything are flipped. And so, when you're doing a big letter just like this, just keep thickening it up until you like how wide and fat it is. And just keep going down and around. I know everybody says I make it look easy, but part of it is the brush. Part of it is how much paint you've got on your brush, because I keep dipping my brush ever so often. That way I keep getting a real smooth application. So I'm just going to, and whenever it looks like it's starting to get a little streaky, I get some more. And just keep going around. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look like the letter. Like I painted an F the other night, a fancy F. And I got so carried away making it fancy that it didn't even look like an F anymore. So just the most important thing is make sure it looks like the letter it's supposed to look like. And I just keep thickening it up until I like it. For you guys that are local, I've got a couple of parties coming up that you guys can come to that are open parties. The first one is March the 4th. It will be at the Hardin Community Center in Hardin, Kentucky. It is a fundraiser for little Zoe Smith. If you don't know who she is a very sweet little girl. I think she's 2 years old, maybe going on 3, I'm not sure. But she's got leukemia, and she has been in and out of St. Jude's for the past 1.5 to 2 years. And she's just had a real hard time of it. So we're doing a fundraiser for her. The cost is $35. And I think there's like 8 different door hanger designs you can choose from. And you just kind of RSVP ahead of time and let me know which door hanger you want. You can access the event page on my Facebook page. You just go to, I think there's like about photos, events, or something like that at the top, or maybe the left-hand side of my page, and scroll down to events, and you can see them. The second one is a paint party fundraiser at North Elementary. It's March the 7th. It's on a Tuesday night. It's $35 also, and all of the money from that will be donated to the North Elementary PTA, and they'll just use it for whatever funds they need to. I'm not sure what projects they've got coming up right now, but I'll quit talking and show you what I'm doing. Okay, I've got my letter done, and now I'm just taking that same white brush that's just a little thick and holds paint. It's about to drip. And I just loaded it up with paint, kind of swirled it around in my paint. And I'm just doing like a couple of little dots and then just a little swirl. And they don't have to connect, just kind of have to look carefree. And then just do a couple more dots and then another little swoop. And I want to do a couple dots at the end. So I'm going to start there and then go back. And it's done. All it needs is a bow. What do you guys think? What color would you like to see other than the red? Does anybody have any suggestions? Oh wow, we've hit 51 views. That's crazy. That's more, 52. That's more than I've had in any live video. That's awesome. And of course it would be on the night when I didn't put on any makeup. Sorry guys. Like I said earlier, I've been potty training my almost 2-year-old all day today, and I am exhausted. I've run like 3 loads of laundry because we only have like 5 pairs of the training pants, and it's ridiculous. So anyways, I'm sorry it took me so long to get back on Facebook Live, and I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to share the video. I'm going to be doing a giveaway once I hit 3,000 likes. Thanks again. Good night.